Friends and family are this morning mourning the loss of a teenage girl killed by a shark north of Brisbane. The 17-year-old was swimming about 100 metres off the shore at Bribie Island.
Let's bring in today Queensland reporter Andrea Crothers, who was there for us. Andrea, this unfolded in front of shocked beachgoers.
Yeah, guys, this is absolutely awful. That teenager, she was here at a popular spot on the south end of Bribie Island, that's here at Wirrum Beach, when she was swimming, as you said, around 100 metres offshore, understood to have been bitten on the upper arm by a shark. This triggers a major emergency response. You can see they were called just before 5 o'clock yesterday. All of this unfolding in front of shocked onlookers.
Very shocked, very shocked. It kind of just happened in such a quick time.
Paramedics tried to perform CPR, but that teenage girl, she was unable to be saved. Guys, this is now the third shark attack in Queensland in as many months. A 40-year-old man died off the coast of central Queensland in December.
Andrea, thank you.
About 100 homes are expected to be underwater in North Queensland this morning, with authorities warning the dangers are far from over. The local disaster management expects flood levels to peak in Townsville's black zone around 7 a.m, despite rain easing yesterday evening. But it's not the only threat. There's also been an increase in crocodile sightings.
Don't you come up under my house and up my stairs.
Buggered. That's my ute. I'd say she'd be buggered.
Fire service! Hello!
Here's the puppy dogs. Hey pups.
We are launching Craft 12 with 5 POB.
More SES crews have been flown in from other parts of the state to help, and we will cross live to our reporter in the flood zone shortly. We have some breaking news now. Police body cam footage has been played in court on day one of Matilda's star Sam Kerr's racial harassment trial in London.
Did you stay on the phone long enough to even speak to someone? That's the thing.
They hung up on us.
Okay, but they wouldn't do that though.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't do that. You should have spoken to the...
You guys are stupid and white. Honestly, you guys are stupid and white.
Okay.
I'm looking you in the eyes.
Why are you
I'm looking you in the eyes. Like that's stupid. I'm over the. This is the world problem. Wait on the call. Wait on the call. Wait on the call.
All right. I'll go over at the moment then at 3:17. You're under arrest for criminal damage because there's an allegation that you've smashed that taxi window. You're also under arrest for racially aggravated public order for the comments that you've said. So the reason, that's fine, the reason for your arrest was for a prompt and effective investigation.
Europe correspondent Edward Godfrey is at Kingston upon Thames Crown Court this morning. Edward, it has been 2 years since this incident, but the trial is now underway.
It is, Jane. It has been a long build-up to this day, but the trial is now underway. Sam Kerr appeared here at the Kingston upon Thames Crown Court along with her parents, her brother and her lawyers. The 31-year-old is charged with a racially aggravated offence dating back to the early hours of January 30th, 2023 after a night out. The court heard police saw Ms Kerr climbing out the window of a taxi outside Twickenham Police Station, and that the window had been smashed, the driver going there during a dispute with her and her partner, fellow footballer Christy Mewis, after one of them threw up in the taxi. In the body cam video played to the court, both can be heard telling police they feared they were taken hostage in the taxi and was scared they weren't allowed to leave and that they broke the window to get free. It's during a lengthy exchange inside the station where the Matildas and Chelsea star is heard calling officers stupid and white, frustrated with them for not listening to her concerns. Metropolitan Police's PC Stephen Lovell telling the court he felt upset and humiliated by the remarks. Ms Kerr denies intending to cause harassment, alarm or distress. We are expected to hear from her and her partner, Miss Mewis, in the coming days, Jane. This trial is set down for 4 days.
OK, Edward, thank you. Surging temperatures will offer no relief for Victorians cleaning up after days of wild weather as the state enters day 3 of its heatwave. Live to Today Melbourne reporter Christina Hearn in Port Melbourne. Chris, it's been unrelenting the past few days.
Yeah, it certainly has, Jane, and it's not helping the bushfire situation. This morning there is an emergency warning to evacuate immediately for the town of Miranatwa, that's in the Grampians. Meanwhile, 3 firefighters were lucky to escape with their lives after their vehicle caught fire battling the Little Desert blaze. Today, more heat, a top of 35 degrees. We had a very hot night with a minimum of just 24 degrees, so that's our warmest night in 2 years. However, there is relief on the way. There is a cool change which will sweep through the state at about 2 or 3 p.m. However, with it will be possible thunderstorms. And of course, the state is already cleaning up after those severe thunderstorms we experienced on Sunday night. The SES receiving 950 calls for help. Half of those are from the city of Geelong. And some bad news, Jane, for anyone thinking they'll head to the bay to cool off today. The EPA has declared it unsuitable for swimming all the way from the city down to Sorrento.
OK, Chris, thank you. Adelaide and parts of South Australia will swelter through another day of high temperatures. The city is tipped to reach 33 degrees today after temperatures in the low 40s the last 2 days, which is the first time that's happened this decade. Some residents were left without power after almost 30 tree branches came down across the city. Australia's big business bosses will lobby politicians for a Trump-like axing of government waste and red tape this week as a way of lifting living standards. Live to Today federal politics reporter Liz Daniels. Liz, they're lining up in Canberra as MPs return for Parliament.
They are, Jane, just as political parties prepare their attack ads and their checkbooks for election spending commitments, so too are the nation's lobbyists readying themselves for a campaign of sorts arriving in Canberra with wish lists for policy promises. The Business Council today releasing a blueprint calling for whoever wins the election to make building houses easier by training more tradies and allowing them to work on licences that go across state borders. It's also championing tax reform, deregulation to make life easier for businesses, and government spending caps, the sort of efficiencies that are being mirrored by Donald Trump in the US and an approach already championed by Peter Dutton here. 30 chief executives will meet with Treasurer Jim Chalmers, Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor and independent MPs as they push this agenda this week, and we will see a suite of these sorts of demands being put forward. Just yesterday it was the doctors who were calling for an overhaul of bulk billing and Medicare. Jane, in a couple of hours MPs will be back in this building to start the parliamentary sitting year. First, it's a church service and then down to business for what many believe could be the final weeks of Parliament before an election is called.
Liz, thank you. As Donald Trump's trade wars ramp up, Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles will visit the US this week in an effort to shore up Australia's Defence and Security Agreement, AUKUS. While the meeting with Trump's administration is not trade-focused, it's hoped the trip will form part of Australia's case as to why it should not be hit with tariffs.